It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar, we're at the fabulous Wayfare today on Ferret Street, which is not just a bar, it's also a restaurant where they serve handcrafted food along with spirits. They have a whole new menu and a radically new happy hour that lasts for 3 hours every day from 3 to 6 o'clock in the evening, which is 3 hours, correct, boyfriend?
Correct.
Nice to see you back here, boyfriend.
It's nice to be back.
Boyfriend's back. With you only have one curler this time.
Yes.
Last time
It's
you had
my
a whole
errand.
head of curlers.
This is my
just
errand look.
Just
Been
doing
running
errands.
around all day.
Do you go out of the house dressed like this other than to come here? I know you are out of the
course.
house currently.
Yes.
So you're wearing a nice, like, what color is this? Orange?
I'd call it red.
Red. Is that red?
I'd call this
oh my
fire
God,
truck
I would
red.
not. No way. Is
What
it
do y'all
really?
call it?
I see orange.
Really?
But everybody's
I see
different.
orange
Oh, how
too.
bizarre.
I see red.
Yeah.
I see
How
red.
You see
bizarre.
red?
I see a blood orange, so I'm going to
Blood
split the
orange,
difference.
Okay.
Let's post it on Facebook and let
Okay.
everybody
So
Yeah.
the voices,
Yeah.
the voices
Let's
you're
make this
listening
go
to,
viral
you
with
can
that
see
dress.
this photos of us on Facebook. Bella Blue is here, headmistress
Hello.
of the New Orleans School of Burlesque. Welcome to Happy Hour,
Thank
Bella. Are
you.
you wearing sunglasses, I see? Is it
I am.
too
It's
bright
'cause
in here?
it's
You're-
bright in
You're
here.
hungover? You're not
No, I'm
usually up at
not.
this time of the day or what?
It is early. It's a
It-
little
I know.
early for stripper land.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
it's actually, what time is it in somewhere? It's probably like in the East Coast, it's probably like 9 o'clock at night, right?
I'm sure,
The
yeah.
East Coast of Thailand.
I don't
or
actually
something.
come to life until about
What time do you get up
like
normally?
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Well, I have two
Okay.
kids, so I get up about 6 in the morning.
That's bad. And you have to get them off to school?
It's fine. That's the consequences of making people.
Yeah, that's what happens. How old are they?
11 and 15.
Oh, that's getting up there.
Yep.
Matt Owens is here, the comedian. How are you, Matt?
Hi, how are you doing?
Look at Matt's blue eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Piercing.
Yeah, we don't know what color Bella's eyes are because she's got the dark glasses on. What color
They're
are
blood
they?
orange.
Oh, then.
They're blood
nice.
orange.
That's a nice color, too. What do you call that? Hazel.
Green.
Green. Okay. Well, we're really having off to a
Whatever.
bad start. Well, your eyebrows are the same color as boyfriend's robe.
That's
Trying to
true.
match my hair.
Oh,
you
your
know,
hair
I
is
shave
red.
my eyebrows off and then I paint
sh-
them in myself.
You shave them off yourself?
Yeah, because I didn't grow the right shape.
Is that what? Because
Those are painted on eyebrows?
Yeah.
Can I see them?
Now you have more
Wow.
versatility.
Very nice.
And then if I want to have like blue eyebrows, I can have blue ones.
Or if you
I
want to
wanna
spend a whole
have-
day looking surprised,
Yeah,
you
surprised or sad?
Yeah, I can
Mad
like
or
draw them on my
Sad.
forehead like this, or I don't have to wear any at all if I don't want to.
What does sad eyebrows look like?
I don't know. I don't make sad eyebrows.
Matt, what would sad eyebrows look like?
I guess they just point down.
Can you make your eyebrows look sad,
Yeah,
really?
hang on.
I don't know about that. Okay. When did you start shaving your eyebrows there, Bella?
It's been off and on for a few years. It always what happens is I will like shave the ends of them for shows
Right.
and then keep like the little tuft like right here, and then it just gets smaller and smaller
Right.
and smaller.
Is that something you eased into and then realized, like, hey, I need to go further with this?
Well, I shaved them a long time ago too because I wanted to have glitter eyebrows, and so I was doing that for a little while, and then I grew them back in, and you just go through
You
phases.
did mention you're a stripper.
Yep.
Is anyone looking at your eyebrows?
Sometimes
What kind of guy is
drag
it?
queens are usually looking at
Really?
my eyebrows,
That's
judging them harshly.
What are most people looking at when you're taking your clothes off? You're not. Most
I don't know. It's different for everybody. I mean, people go to I perform burlesque predominantly. I used to dance in strip clubs also, but at the shows, you know, they're looking at all kinds of stuff. Sometimes they're just looking at their phones the whole time.
What do you? No, is that true?
Oh yeah.
Boyfriend, do you find that? Boyfriend takes her clothes off on stage too.
Yes.
You call yourself a stripper as well, right?
No.
You don't. What do you call it? Rap cabaret.
Correct.
So there's no element of. You wouldn't say the word stripper, even though that is.
Well,
kind
there
of
is striptease.
There is stripping, happening.
stripping. Yeah.
But I don't use the word rapper. I don't use the word stripper.
Okay. You don't
Those-
call yourself a rapper.
I prefer, I guess, verbs, because
Okay.
stripper and rapper are very like concrete nouns that people have already made up their mind about what that means before they encounter you or your work.
And what's a
They
verb?
know what a rapper is. They know what a stripper is.
Right.
So
And what verb
I
is?
do strip. I do rap. Yes.
But you don't have to be a rapper or a stripper.
Correct.
What about teaching?
I don't do that anymore.
No, but would you be not a teacher either?
No, I would be a teacher.
So what's wrong with being a rapper or a stripper?
I think people have more judgmental and narrow connotations associated with those particular nouns
Yeah.
than they do with teacher. I would hope.
You mean they
When I
have...
think of a teacher, I think of a wonderful, selfless person.
I think of a stripper. I think of someone who's wonderful as well.
And selfless.
What do you what do you
Really
think of,
selfless.
Matt? Yeah.
I'm intrigued. So, what do you call yourself, boyfriend? When you, what would you call it?
I perform. I'm a performer.
Performer. So, performance.
I'm an
art or
artist.
performance art.
Musician.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I'm a performing artist than performance artist because that's another one that I feel like you hear
Right.
performance
you
artist.
automatically have
and you
something in mind.
Yeah, you instantly think of some Bushwick warehouse show where a can of beans comes out your crotch.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Whereas
if you
a
said-
performing
if you said-
artist,
I
I like the
think-
present progressive
I agree.
nouns.
You're very
It's
wise
true.
because if you said rapper, stripper, performance artist all in the same sentence, I would already have an idea of what that was going to look like.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be bathrobe and curlers. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't want to go.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
Matt, what do you call yourself? You're a comedian,
I'm a
right? You
comedian,
don't have
yes.
any problem calling yourself that.
No.
But do
no.
you spell it like NNE? on the
That's-
end?
Yes, I'm a comedian.
the
Comedian.
feminine,
Cool.
Feminine
Good
feminine
idea.
spelling.
Absolutely.
That would keep people guessing.
That's why you can get a broader audience. They're like, I can't wait to see this comedian named Matt.
Yeah, with a beard. That's a good angle, actually.
Yeah.
What if you just came out and said you're a woman? I mean, nowadays that would be fine.
Yeah, I
Nobody,
think it would be
nobody
more of
would
a
even
draw.
doubt that.
I think it'd be more of a draw.
Nobody would.
absolutely.
How do you get people to come and see a comedian? What's the?
Oh man!
I
you
mean,
gotta-
stripper. I can see how that works, right? Even though you don't. Why don't you want to use that word though? We'll come back to that comedian
That's
question.
fine.
Why don't you want to use the word? Just because people's connotation is negative. But what if
Yeah,
they
and
come
it's
to
not-
see
it's-
that and you
I'm not
surprise them?
Then that's a great surprise. And I'm not afraid of that word. I was a quote-unquote stripper on Bourbon Street. So I've done what you think of when you think of stripper.
So
but,
do you, Bella, right?
You know,
Yep.
most strippers, when you say that word, aren't writing songs that they're performing. You know, it doesn't,
Right.
it undermines the true nature of what I'm doing. So to say that it cheapens it to me.
Okay, I agree. Because
Again,
what you're doing is
it's
you're
just different.
You're a musician. You write these songs.
Correct.
You produce these songs.
Correct.
And you arrange these songs, right? Mm-hmm. So you're a musician who just has a stage act,
Yes.
which could change. You could totally change your stage act and keep your clothes on the whole time and do the same thing.
I could, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't change the music.
Right.
But if you're a stripper and you don't take your clothes off, that kind of ruins the whole.
Then yeah, you no longer
Right.
you cease to be a
Yeah.
stripper,
Yeah.
I
You're
suppose.
that's not what I paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
See-
no, again,
Well, and the focus of what she's doing isn't about the strip element
Right.
necessarily. That's not
have
the
you seen a show?
primary
Grant?
focus.
Yes.
You have seen my live
Yes.
show?
I've seen your live
Would
show.
you call that stripping?
No.
There you go.
I would call it a singer who's got an act like Madonna has an act
Ah,
or
there we go.
Beyonce has an act.
Alice
There
Cooper.
we go.
Alice Cooper.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Those are my
anybody.
friends.
Or anybody has. Well, that's what it is.
Alice Cooper's playing tonight in New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Really? Are you
Tonight.
going?
I wish. I'm in rehearsal. So
Wow.
sacrifices.
Was
Oh,
that?
wow.
Is he Welcome to My Nightmare?
Yes.
Was
Yeah.
that him?
School's out.
Yeah. That would be good.
Yeah.
He's been doing
oh,
that.
he's
act,
a
he's been
huge
doing that
influence for
forever.
me.
So got probably 30 years, right? Doing
Yes,
the
I would
same-
say he
same
has
act.
been.
I'm excited. I want to see it.
I do too.
Okay, so let's go back to the comedian question. How do you get people to come to see a comedian?
It's obnoxious what I do to get people to come to shows.
What do you do?
I just have to talk about it a lot.
Oh my
You know, I have to.
So he harasses people.
I do. Yeah.
You tell them you're going to take your clothes off.
No, that'll make them not.
That's a deterrent. I don't know how to do it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, and there's tons of people there. You know, I've had sold out shows, and I never know what the formula is to get.
You don't know why people show up sometimes and sometimes they don't.
It seems to ebb and flow. Sometimes it'll be the same marketing plan, the same the same amount of work that we do to promote one show, we do for another show, and it'll just be less attendance for some reason.
That
And then
is-
some that same formula again, it'll be sold out. So
But you guys have been doing this for a while here. Bella, you've been performing
Almost 10 years.
here. And how long have you been doing it, boyfriend?
Only 4.
Don't you think there's something different about New Orleans that you can't tell who is ever going to show up? People don't buy tickets ahead of time.
People don't buy tickets ahead of time for anything usually.
nobody buys anything in advance, is my experience. They wait till the day of.
Right.
You know.
Day before and day of, for sure. If you sell, I always find if you have like 10 pre-sales, then that's a good sign.
That's a good
Yeah.
sign.
That means your show is going to go
I agree.
well.
I think that's absolutely.
That's like a good indicator.
Any pre-sales to me is a good indicator it's going to go well.
What is that
because
about New Orleans that we're like that?
I think there's too many options. I think even my friends, they'll wait on something to see if it's the best option for that night. And then if something better comes along, they're like, I'm going to that.
Yeah, there's a fear of commitment because there are so many options
I
and
also
things
think-
to do.
And you don't need to plan here the way you do in other cities because
No.
it's easy to.
easy
Opposite
to
side
get
of town's
around.
what, 20 minutes.
Right.
You're gonna find parking. It's not gonna be a $25 parking
Right.
situation unless maybe you're downtown.
During
And
like Bayou Classic.
You can
or
drink everywhere, so there's not that rush to get to from point A to point B. I think it's all just
And it's later,
easier.
usually.
I
Yeah.
used to be
So there's
pretty
no hurry to get
judgmental
there.
about it. Like, why isn't anybody planning to do this thing? And then I realized my own habits.
Are you from here?
I'm exactly the same. No, but I've spent a lot of time here since I was, in my teens.
Yeah.
And I was the same way. I would sit at one place until we made a decision to go somewhere else, and I never planned past.
Right. So
You
the
know.
whole city's like that. You're from Mississippi originally?
No, I'm from
Where you
St.
from?
Simon's Island, Georgia.
Ooh,
Wow,
that
cool.
sounds exotic.
Hey, I didn't introduce Chris Kehoe, did
I know. I've been
Hey.
sitting here stewing in my
Oh,
Very
Chris.
sorry, Chris.
So, if you've ever listened to the show before, you've probably heard me say our show is technically produced by Chris Kehoe, and this is our technical producer for the last 4 years,
Yep.
3 years,
It
4
sounds
years.
about right. I don't know. It's all
Long
blur.
time. Chris
Yeah.
started on the show when we had no listeners at all, and now we have 3. So we've tripled our audience
my
in the
mom
time
are
your
children.
mom, Andrew Duhon's mom. Andrew Duhon is in Martha's Vineyard, so even his mom isn't going to listen today. So Chris is leaving. The reason I made him sit down here and join us is because Thomas Walsh is taking over for Chris, and Chris is leaving us to go to live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
wow.
Some point. I don't know.
So
wow.
if any of you guys need a place to stay in
Well,
LA,
You're fancy.
Yeah,
Chris has got you under-
Yeah, you
information.
could share the couch that I'm going to be sleeping at my brother's house. So it'll be great.
What's the plan? LA? What's in LA?
I don't know. I want to write out there and stuff. I don't know. Just try something new eventually, though.
he is.
I don't know.
Let me tell you, he's a great writer. He's a great screenwriter. I've read some stuff he's written. It's really great. And if you're going to be a writer, you have to go to LA at some point, even though we don't want to lose him.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
As much as I've resisted it.
I'm holding down the fort. I'm not going to leave.
Well, you were in a movie, right, Matt?
Yeah. I just had I'm so excited. We just had a film that got into the New Orleans Film Festival, and I can't wait until they officially announce it and give us the programming, because we had a private screening, and we had a sold out packed
Where at?
house for the screening at Worklight Pictures,
Yeah.
the studio.
How'd
Worklight.
it go?
It's great.
Are you allowed to tell us something about it?
The film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you about it. So I made the film with the Barehanded Bear Handlers, which is a local sort of sketch, jingle musician group. They write a lot of funny songs. And Owen, who's in the movie with me, started writing as this character and then performing these songs live. And then we had a live bit that we would do together. I would show up at the venue while he's performing, and then we would have this whole sort of planned bit that the audience wasn't aware of, and it got to be really funny. And so he kept getting asked.
Stop for a sec. Can I interrupt you? What is his name? Owen who?
Owen Lejeune.
And what was the bit?
He performs as this character named Pecan Penwilly from Pensacola, Florida,
Okay.
and he would write these really funny songs and then perform them in character, and I would show up as his crazy drunk uncle and raise hell, and then eventually get on stage with him.
So you're yelling from the audience, like heckling.
Yeah, I would heckle him.
All right.
Until he realized who I was, and then he would invite me up, and we would do this whole bit on stage, and it got to be
Okay.
really popular. And so we started looking at it, and he said, we should write as this character. So he did. We wrote a movie. Sort of, they scripted it. but
Pecan Penwilly from Pensacola. Is that the name of the movie?
it's called Pensacola Prophet.
Pensacola Prophet.
Is it
And
like an origin story for this character?
Yes, exactly. It's a mockumentary of this
Ah.
guy's life and his crazy drunk uncle.
Profit with the PH.
That's right.
so he's the prophet. It's called Pensacola Prophet. It doesn't have any religious undertones or overtones, does it?
No.
So why is he a prophet?
So he believes that he's changing the world with his music, and his fans, all 4 of them, believe that he's moved them in a way to change their lives. And so the story does have a huge arc. So it's this crazy sort of mockumentary about these crazy characters, but there is like a story of redemption and I guess at the end, like, there's love involved.
Is he in Pensacola? Do they end up getting married?
No, his uncle just realizes he needed to help him and save his life.
Okay. Is it this taking place in Pensacola or here?
Yeah, it's all panhandle of Florida, the music capital of the world.
It totally is. So you got to spend a bit of time at the beach making this movie,
Yeah.
which is cool.
We faked a lot of it. Yeah,
You
most
did?
of it's
Fake
in somebody's
beach.
backyard.
Oh, really? Is it really?
Yeah.
What'd you shoot it on? Like a
Yeah, it was,
iPhone?
it's yeah.
A pile of sand.
It's really Nick Friend, who has Friend Films, did all the cinematography and then most of the post editing. It's fully. I mean, it's a feature film. I mean, it's beautiful. It's well shot. It's well edited. It's color corrected. It has a soundtrack. It's sound edited.
Who did the soundtrack for it?
Owen.
Oh, okay.
Owen.
Okay,
and,
so all these
and,
crazy songs.
Bear America Records.
Bear
Bear
America.
America Studios.
I was just there yesterday.
You were at Bear America?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Recording there?
Yeah.
What are you up to then? Are you making a new record?
Yes, I am. And actually releasing a new song tomorrow with Big Frieda that we recorded at Bear America.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
She's been
Okay,
there.
so we better write that down. What's the name of the song?
Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette.
Your music's great.
Thanks.
You should listen to it.
Did I have I heard that? Marie
It comes out
Antoinette?
tomorrow.
So
No,
it's not
it's
out. No
new.
one's heard
No
it.
one's heard
It's
it.
not on the internet yet.
How are you going to release it? How can we find it tomorrow?
Fader Magazine's going to premiere it. And
Fader.
they have the
Oh,
exclusive,
cool.
which is why I couldn't play it on the
Oh.
podcast.
We can't play it today.
No.
Oh, that's sad. Can we steal it off Spotify or in the usual places? Or what?
Yeah, it'll be on my website, and it'll
Okay.
be blasted all over social media, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll help you do that. What time? When you say something comes out, why does it come out on a Friday now? That's a new.
I think
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh shit! Is it?
Yep.
What is it?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Thursday.
We're
Did
gar-
they change
But you
it?
made me think about it. I was like,
Yeah, I did too. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Friday sounds
we
right.
all had thought bubbles
Yeah.
above our head.
Yeah,
and I'm
Friday
like,
does sound right.
So it comes
I
out
don't know
on a
why they're doing
Thursday.
that.
But most new music drops on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say too.
Well, she, do
I don't
whatever,
know.
So what
she can do
happened?
whatever
Why-
she wants.
Yeah, but I wonder if
Yeah.
things have changed now. You
I
know?
think it's a constant monsoon of new content and media, and it doesn't really.
It doesn't have any format. It used
You
to always
know.
be a
I don't think
Tuesday
it
because
matters.
radio stations added
Yeah,
stuff on
but
it.
radio's
For what?
doesn't matter
It's
unless
irrelevant.
you're Beyonce or Rihanna anymore.
Right.
So.
It's totally irrelevant, right?
Tell me about. I talked to Owen recently, and he said he was in the other room when Big Frieda was in there recording, and I was just like fascinated by the whole thing. I just, what's it like working with Big Frieda?
Entirely positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems
She's
seems
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. Everyone that surrounds her, too. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
just. I was on tour with her for a month, and we did pretty much all that you can do of America out to Denver, but all the way up to Vermont and all the way down to Fort Lauderdale. It was like not
Okay.
quite Miami. And it was just, again, just an entirely positive experience. And if you've watched the show, I don't know if y'all have seen the Fuse reality TV show, it's also really positive. And that's not what I think of when I think of reality TV. I think of hair pulling and drink throwing and everything. But it's, I don't know, their whole team is just surrounded with good vibes. I have nothing but positive things to say about them.
How cool that
Yeah.
Yeah.
the shining light of positive reality TV would be a
It's great. I think
Yeah.
cross-dressing.
It's very
Rapper
bizarre
from
for
New
me. I
Orleans,
would
yeah.
have thought it would have been all about messiness and drama, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's just like we're interesting people. We're unique. We have things that we want to do and say. Here's our struggle to do and say them the way that we want.
Yeah, I think
that's the premise of the.
it's great that
show.
it shines a big.
You were
light.
on the show.
I
saw your
was, yeah.
scene. Yeah.
Bella, what were you doing on it?
I taught her girls a burlesque class.
Okay.
Yeah, and they came to the studio and we worked with them, and it was fun. It was
They're
going
going to be performing with me on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully, using some of the
Oh.
tricks that you gave.
Oh,
them, 'cause
cool.
Typically, burlesque is
I'm really jealous.
part of my thing.
Well, you can be there on Saturday.
I want
Matt.
to hang out with Big Frieda.
Is she coming to your show on Saturday?
Unfortunately, no.
She's probably
Previously
out of
booked
town,
in
right?
Atlanta.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this podcast before Saturday, the what date is this?
The 20th.
Saturday the 20th of August 2016. Let's
Correct.
just make that clear here. So the show is, it's your birthday party.
Yes.
Which
It's my
will-
4th annual one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've done this
Here
before.
in town,
So
yeah.
this year it's at Tipitina's,
Yes.
uptown on Chapatola Street
Yes.
in Napoleon.
Yes.
And it starts at,
Doors are at 9.
So the
Entertainment
show
begins
started
at 10.
11.
okay, so if you don't listen to
'Cause
any
Nora-
more
We're-
of the show and you're sick to death of listening to us talk,
I'd say get
at
there
least know
10,
that.
15.
Totally.
You'll be on by 10:15. That's
Well,
pretty good.
Someone will be.
Somebody
Someone
will
will,
be on
okay, yeah,
stage.
because Tipitina's is famous for that.
Being prompt?
No, not exactly.
No, we will be prompt though because it's rap cabaret. My show is rap cabaret, so I have 15 different performers.
Oh,
so it's not like some opening band gets up there for 2.5 hours. Like it's gonna if we don't
So it's gotta
if
be
we don't get
organized.
moving, some people won't get to perform. So we got to get it up there. Get
So
it
there's
going.
15 separate people performing as part of your birthday
It was
celebration.
all part of the.
Oh man.
Which is why I came in sweating when I arrived.
No kidding.
I've been running around like crazy.
Well, you've only got your robe on, so at least there's that.
That helps. It does help.
Yeah. Do you have your 50s lingerie on underneath this today?
No, I can't do a.
Oh,
I
you
can't do a
take it
reveal
off
today.
like last
yeah.
time. Oh, okay. All right. How far do you go in this robe, other than
How
here?
far?
Yeah, I mean,
oh,
do
I
you
go
go to the
everywhere.
supermarket
Oh
and-
yeah, I go everywhere this way.
Do you
I'm
really?
comfortable
For
this
real?
way. Yeah.
And do people look at you weird?
Sometimes, I think it depends on the setting.
I mean,
At
if she
Walmart,
goes,
no one's
Okay.
gonna
I
look.
was gonna say if she
Okay.
goes to Metairie, they'll probably be like, "What?"
I feel like you look like you're doing something really important. Like you're getting ready for something really.
Well, I
important.
usually am. I'm
Yeah.
always on my way somewhere.
Yeah.
Some sort of event that's more important than the one I'm at presently.
Right.
Okay. Well, where are you
It's
off?
domino
Where are you off to next?
Importance. I'm off to rehearsal.
Okay. So what are you rehearsing? This show for Saturday?
Yes.
So this is going to be your extravaganza.
big extravaganza. Yeah. Well, I'm doing a lot of new songs that have not yet been heard or seen.
Oh, cool.
man.
Hence the rehearsing.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
does
cool.
who's in the band? Do you have a band behind you? Or
Nope.
Just a audio track.
Audio
DJ.
track.
So were you rehearsing?
DJ.
You're rehearsing singers and dancers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we know who they are? Or
I try to keep it up my sleeve.
I
mean,
know.
I
I
bill,
can see you being very cagey.
I
about
bill
the whole
everything as just rap cabaret.
All
And
right. So we're just going to have to show up.
Well, the idea is that people will show up knowing that rap cabaret will be a good show, whoever it might be. Just
Right.
the way you like. I always tuned in to Dean Martin Variety Show on reruns, knowing it would be great. I didn't know who was going to be behind the door. I love that sort of entertainment where.
How could you
it's
possibly be
a
old
bigger
enough to have
brand.
seen the
I said on reruns.
Reruns, right?
And then I ended up buying the whole thing on DVD, the whole series.
Isn't it awesome? Can you actually?
is.
I bought it on DVD too, and then it turned out to be something else. Though.
It's a strange. You have to find it
Did you
through
bu-
some infomercial.
Did you buy? That's
know.
what I got. Did you buy
Mine
that
worked.
one?
Yeah, it's
But
like
it
the
turned
black
out-
with the white. No, the yellow writing.
But it turns out to be like not just the show by itself. It turns out to be kind of a documentary with. Is that what you bought, or you bought
No,
something
I
else?
bought mine were actually
Just the
episodes.
straight
This was
shows.
a long time ago when I
Yeah,
bought
me
mine.
too. But I love Dean Martin, and so
Me too.
I
yeah.
loved when I saw it finally because it's not in reruns at all, is it? It's not on TV as far as I can
It's
tell.
not. It's
one of
it's
the greatest
strange that
shows
it hasn't
of all time.
been. Yeah, Carol Burnett's on every
I was about
night
to
at
say,
Yeah.
10.
The
Right.
Carol Burnett show is the only one that I think you can still find, but they have the
Yeah.
same thing. You can get all the episodes.
Right. But I thought Dean Martin must have had some sort of
There might be
a
some
rights dispute
legal.
or something.
Yeah,
it
might be that.
Because it doesn't exist anywhere. Why wouldn't it? And then
Well,
he died, and then his
Would you have to clear it with every celebrity that's been on the show, sort of thing?
I don't think so. No,
I think
I'm
not.
sure
I
they
think
signed
They probably
something.
signed it
Yeah.
in real
Yeah.
time. Who knows?
But for some reason, it's never
Mystery.
on. But
I know, and
bought
it's-
that
it's a
thing. That was,
tragedy,
yeah, it
really.
is. Maybe and then he died, and then his son just died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So now that they're both dead, so, I mean, there mustn't be anyone else to have to own the copyright of the estate. So maybe
Maybe it'll pop up on Netflix.
Yeah, maybe it will. So what can we play of yours, boyfriend? What can we take a listen to? What have you got?
How about I say 3 titles and y'all pick which one you want to hear? Because
Okay.
I have no particular.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Attention, Hey Girl, or Say You Will.
I like Hey Girl.
Okay.
Bella, you want to vote?
Attention.
Ooh.
Attention is a great song.
Oh, man, I don't know. I do like Hey Girl, so.
You like that? I like Attention as well, and then you like
I like Hey,
Hey
Girl.
Girl, just as a
I
title.
love that
I've
it's
heard
just going
Attention
by
the
a
most
title.
because
I like
it's
Oh,
one
you
of
have
Okay,
heard
you
it?
have
Okay,
I
that
have
makes
I
sense.
know.
album
I was
in mind.
hoping it was blind
have,
title
no,
judgment.
we have
Oh,
the
no,
album.
I have your album.
You know
Yeah.
the songs too, right?
No.
No.
Oh, you don't know the songs? Oh, Chris and I know
I
the
only
songs.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so then we shouldn't do one you know. We should do a fun one.
No,
Let's do
no.
Hey Girl. Let's do Hey Girl.
Okay.
I don't think anyone knows it.
Okay, let's do it. Thomas?
So do the new part remix. You can never judge a song by its title.
Hey over. Do you wanna come and play? I'll paint your nails, I'll braid your hair. Hey girl, come and play. We can watch my so-called life. We can eat cookie dough raw. You can stay and be my wife. You can stay and have it all. Hey girl, stay, stay girl, we can cut old t-shirts into crop tops, take Polaroids and have a fashion show. We can suck on each other while we suck green pops. Write it in our diaries, no one needs to know. Truth or dare, I dare you to never leave my bed. Truth or dare, the truth is you'll never leave my head. Hide and seek, don't hide from me. I'll seek you out eventually. I'll hide inside you till you try to see outside what we can be. Hey girl, hey girl, hey. Red Rover, send my girl right over. Red Rover, don't break. Red Rover, send my girl right over. Red Rover, don't break. Hey girl, hey.
So good.
Nice. Good job, boyfriend. Good call.
Thanks.
And the name of the album is Boyfriend, simply.
Oh no.
Or no, what is it? Love Your Boyfriend, Part 3.
Part 3.
So parts. Now, which one do we have? Parts 1 and 2
You
from
should.
previously.
That's the blue one.
What's
This
the
is the yellow
album?
one.
Oh, parts 1 and 2 is one album, and this is part 3, the next album. What is the song about the guy who can't get it up, and
Oh,
the
God.
woman who says,
Oh, you mean-
why don't you kill yourself?
Come like my hand did. I
Yeah,
don't think
like my
any
hand
of those
did.
exact phrases are in the song, but I
whatever it
like
is.
that that's what it
Yeah, that's what I can't.
conjures up.
Yeah, like my hand did.
Yes,
What's
that's not on this. No, that's
it's
an
not on
older
this
one.
That's on the first album.
It was. It's more of a single, I suppose.
Okay, now that is a fucking awesome song.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh my God, it's great. What are the lyrics to that again?
Well, it's all because you didn't make me come like my hand did. The
Yes.
verses are various things that happen because you didn't make
me come like my hand did. That is just a great song. We need to play that at some point. We don't have that one here though, do we?
It's online. Yeah.
Do we have
I
it
could
with us?
have him pull it up.
Okay.
Easy, yeah.
Let's listen to that in a minute. I mean, in a couple of minutes. First of all, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have to tell you a couple of things about the people who made this show possible.
Indeed.
And then what are we going to talk about after that? Comedy or stripping?
Whatever.
Comedy's
Or LA.
boring.
Comedy's
Nobody
boring.
wants to hear comedy. Nobody wants to hear about comedy.
Let's talk about being a burlesque artist then after, shall we?
Sure.
What part of being a burlesque artist shall we focus on? What, the fact that you were ranked number 16 in the burlesque top 50?
I'm now number 8. Thank
Number
you.
8.
Oh,
Why do they
there
give me
you
this
go.
that says 16? Wow, that's pretty impressive.
I
Yes,
think
it
that was
is.
I think that's the other the bio from when we did the other thing that one time.
When you were on out to
Like
lunch.
Commanders, yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
When you were like being normal.
Was it being normal?
Well, I don't know what the word for it is. Traditional, like you're a business person.
Tradition, yeah,
No, I don't
for
think
sure.
you used the word stripper on that show.
No,
So that was only a lot.
because it's on NPR, and so
Yeah.
it got to be.
So
kinda
that was
like,
only a little while ago. That was
yeah,
in
they do.
2015. You were 16. Now you're number 8.
Yeah, they do it
So,
every. They do it
in
every.
the world?
Yeah,
What about this? Number 8
yeah.
ranked burlesque performer in the
Yeah,
world.
they do it. They do every year. They do a voting process through 21st Century Burlesque, and in our industry, it's like a
That's
big
the
deal.
Academy
Yeah,
Awards.
it's like a
Yeah.
big deal. They do
That's
the
the
top.
Academy.
They do the top
Wow.
50 performers
Okay.
in the world.
So I'm not a mathematician, but you know what? If you were number 16 a year ago and now you're number 8,
Yep.
by this time next year you should
You'd be number
technically-
4, right?
half and
Well,
half
that's
and
right.
half.
Or one?
Or number 1.
I'm thinking
That's
1.
True. Yeah, it depends on the math.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
Well, what,
If
You-
it's
you
by
have
8
to.
or if it's
She's
half.
saying if
do you have a university
Yeah, but if you
education
half
math?
it, you would
It's
never
like-
get to
Okay.
1.
But
No,
it
wait.
went from
Yeah, you
it
would.
went
From
eight.
Eventually,
Well,
yeah.
it went 8 places last time.
Yeah,
those-
Oh, you would
yeah.
never
It's one of
get.
those tricky
You know
ones.
what
She has to
I
get to
Ah.
2 to get to 1. Right?
You would never get to
It would
one
go
if
to-
it was half of the last one each time. You mean?
Right.
Something like that. Like if you
that's
hold your hand
interesting.
But
above
only
a-
if it was an odd
you know,
number. If
one of
I was
those-
like 13,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it would never go. But
But
and-
half of 2 is in
It's-
fact 1. So
uh,
we're
yeah.
I
good.
think we're going to pull for number 1.
The math is in.
Well, my theory was next year you're going to be number 1.
Yeah.
maybe I
That
don't
would be
know.
exciting,
I like
wouldn't
We'll
it?
see. I'm really grateful for any of it, honestly.
Is it
because-
rigged?
No,
Like
no,
the-
not at all.
Like the general election is rigged.
no,
Apparently.
no, this isn't
This is
rigged.
not
This
rigged.
isn't rigged. No, it's
How do you-
pretty legit.
How do they decide? Who decides this? Someone looks at every stripper in the world.
Well, it's voting, right?
It's
How do you
all
get vote?
it's
It's
a
voting.
voting process, and so you put it out into the world, and then people vote for their top 10, like their favorite performers in the industry. And it's not just about performing; it's also about like industry leaders and like things you're doing in the industry and
Okay.
what your purpose.
it's weighted.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like your contributions, and the things that you've done.
Is there a talent section?
It's all.
Like
I mean,
you have
it's
to answer
all,
It is a
questions?
talent.
It's all encompassing.
Right. But I mean,
yeah.
like Miss America or whatever. Do you have to answer
No.
questions? And
No.
It's just they just come and look at you. So people who is voting? The audience? Like
Everybody.
Worldwide. So we could all vote. For
Yep.
it. Well, how do we do that?
Well, it doesn't come out again until the end of the year.
But when it does come out, I've never heard of it. Where would I find it? So we could all vote for you?
21stcenturyburlesque.com.
Do you push it when the voting comes out? Do you push it out and say, "Hey, vote, vote"?
I don't push it like every day or anything like that. I'll put it out maybe like 3 times just to like keep
Let people know.
in case, but I kind of like to let the fates decide and let the audience and the world
Rather than-
decide rather than be hustling for votes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's genuine. In other words, you'd rather
For
not
sure.
try.
Yeah, I don't.
Is it worth anything to be number one? And who's number
No.
1 right now?
Number 1 right now is Kitten and Lou.
That's one word. It's the Chinese.
It's a
person?
couple,
Two people.
2 people.
Kitten and Lou.
Kitten and Lou. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they Siamese twins?
Nope. They're
they're
wife
just-
and wife.
They
so they're
love
2
us.
women. Okay.
It
Two
seems like
women.
2 people is kind of cheating, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's an act.
It's an
Wow,
act.
okay.
Yeah, it's a
Well-
duo act.
Are
They're
you in on
coming.
this,
Uh,
boyfriend? Are you in on this 21st
I know
century
about it because
burlesque.com?
I'm constantly working with burlesque dancers. Every show I hire locally, whatever city I'm in, and I actually perform with Kitten and Lou for Decadence.
Really? Okay.
One Eye Jacks. So we all know each other. Like it's a.
So, but are you
it's a
on the
community
list?
of
Could you be? Could we
performers.
vote for you?
I don't think so.
You're not
I-
burlesque.
Yeah, I don't think
Well, you-
I
that's a
fall
noun.
under
I'm
that.
sorry, but that is a noun, burlesque dancer. So
qualification.
you'd be out.
Yes, I think I don't.
You can't.
No
you
nouns
can't do
allowed.
that. No,
No
so
nouns
you could do
allowed.
burlesque dancing, but you couldn't actually be a burlesque dancer.
Correct.
Sorry. So we
Meh,
can't vote for
disqualified.
you. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Uh,
Wow. So, Chris, did you know about this 21st century burlesque.com?
Yeah, I vote every year.
Oh, good man. Okay.
See, you're out of the loop.
Did you vote for Kitten and Lou?
No.
Who
Did you vote for me?
Locals only.
Yeah.
Is she local? I don't know. Or are they
No,
local?
they're-
Well, hey. are
They're
they-
New York. They have an unfair
Okay.
advantage.
They're
Yeah.
Okay.
they're split
Well,
time
that's a
between
good point.
Seattle and New York.
Ah.
we need a thing like the electoral college, so it sort of evens it up.
Yeah.
However that works. So who else is on that? Who's number 2?
I don't remember.
Aha, that's the thing, isn't
I don't remember.
Yeah, I've gotten second in a bunch of comedy competitions.
Yeah.
It's very deflating.
it? Really?
Yeah. Like,
That's
how do you
very-
write that down on a thing? Like, I was
Runner up.
almost.
Yeah, runner up.
Runner-up.
The
Runner up
funniest.
works.
Yeah.
Almost the funniest person.
Second funniest person.
Second
I think
funniest
that's
person.
funnier.
Yeah.
Actually.
Second
That
funniest.
is funny.
Well, I have about 3 of those, so I'll put second funniest person in the Gulf South.
I think
See,
I think that's a
I
great
can look
title.
It up. I think that Pearl Noir is number 2, or she's like 3 maybe.
Okay. Second
Yeah.
funniest person in the Gulf South
Yeah.
to me has got a good ring to it, doesn't it? Who's the funniest? Chris True.
Yeah, well, he wins a lot.
He's
wins
funny.
I think he's in the top 3, and I know he has won. I think he won last year for the Gambit's Best of.
Right. Well,
The
he
best
is
comedian.
damn funny. Are you
Yeah.
part of that? Because there's some sort of various sects.
Yeah,
in
we've
the
done
comedy
a
business.
lot of shows together. He and I have done a lot of shows together over the years. He was on my show at the Joy back in March, I believe.
And you've got another show at the Joy coming up at some
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
right?
September
What is
1st.
that all about?
So
Who's in it?
Mark
Oh.
Norman.
Wait up. That's what we're going to come back and talk about in 1 second. I have to do these sponsor messages. Thank you very much to Uber. If you find yourself a few drinks in somewhere at a bar, like maybe at their boyfriend's birthday party on Saturday night at Tipitina's,
Effortless.
starting at 10 o'clock, and you need a ride home, Uber is the smartphone app that connects you with a ride at the tap of a button. It's safe, it's easy, it's reliable. You request a ride at any time, and a car comes directly to you, just like magic. Your driver knows exactly where to go, and payment is completely cashless. Wherever you're headed, you can count on Uber for a ride, and you don't need a reservation. If you've never tried Uber before, how many people have not tried Uber before?
I don't know. They're weirdos.
Have you? They're weird, in your
If
opinion?
not,
That's not
'cause-
they're weird. That's the thing about this special deal we have with Uber. You have to not have the Uber app on your phone already.
They're out there.
They should be
I've
There
sure.
are
encountered those
people-
people.
Really?
I
Have you?
love Uber.
Yeah.
I think Uber.
I judge
Me
them
too.
harshly, but I've encountered.
Yeah, what kind of person doesn't? So that's
People
why I
are-
don't know why
some
Uber
people
wants
are
to
afraid
do
of
this
it
deal with us.
oddly, and
Really?
it's so much safer than cabs.
And it's
I don't-
reliable.
I will
and
never
it's
take a
cheaper.
cab again.
I don't take cabs
Somewhere
again.
a cab driver just shivered.
You know what? Those cab drivers, the first thing that happens when you call United, you know what the first thing they say
They
is
tell
after
you
they
it's
say,
going to take 15
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly.
And then the cab never shows up.
It's exactly what
Yeah.
happens.
Then you have to call back again.
Yeah.
And then
The
it's-
first thing they say is if the cab's not there in 15 minutes, call us back. I'm like, fuck you,
And
you're
there's
the
no
cab
tracking,
company.
and there's no accountability the way that there is with Uber.
Isn't that just, but the
I
first
still have to
thing
convince my
it's
mom to use
crazy.
it. Mom, it is so safe.
Oh, let's tell her to download the app. And if she does,
Yeah.
she has to
Mom.
write happy hour Nola.
Mom.
Mom.
Download the app.
Call her up.
It's for moms.
Listen,
everywhere.
Mom, put happy hour Nola in the promotion section of the app, and you get a free ride up to $20
Nice.
for your first ride.
Awesome.
Where is Mom? She's in Tennessee.
She is, but she'll be down for the birthday show.
Okay, well, get
It's
her to
perfect.
do
Where
it.
in Tennessee?
Nashville.
Okay, so get Mom to put happy hour Nola in the promotion section of the Uber
I
app
will.
and get a free. And this is a good ad for you here coming up too, boyfriend. Basic Swim and Gym sells a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. They have bikinis, one piece, cover up. Do you have a cover up?
Yes.
Bella, do you have a cover up?
She's got it on right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. If you need a cover up or anything you need for beach and poolside, you can find it at Basics Swim and Gym. It's right across the street from the lingerie store Basics Underneath on Magazine Street. Are you familiar with that one?
Yes.
Basics Underneath. What about you, Bella? You know those guys?
I know. I've never been there before, but I know who they are.
You can walk in. It's a open door policy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no problem. It's on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue, and then right down the street, just on the downtown side of Jefferson Avenue, is a store called May's Guitar and Sisters in Christ Record Shop. Are you familiar with that, Matt?
I'm not.
Awesome store. They have thousands of records and books and a huge range of vintage. Is that what it says? A huge array of vintage guitars, vacuum tube amplifiers, and effects pedals from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Whether you've never picked up a guitar in your life or you've been playing forever, you're going to find a gem at May's Guitar Shop on Magazine Street, 3 blocks from the downtown side of Jefferson Avenue. And finally, an ad we can all appreciate. Hangover Destroyer is the only all-natural, medically proven, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. You can go to the Hangover Destroyer website. It's called hdestroyer.com and write happy hour in the coupon code, and you too can get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer and seize the dawn. It's medically proven. Okay.
Wow.
So how about that? So thank you to all those people for making this show possible. And now I'm going to tell you what you can do on what night? September 20th, which is a...
No.
What night is it?
First.
Thursday, September 1st.
Oh, that's a Thursday.
Thursday,
So
September
Thursday
1st.
is involved in it.
At
Thursday,
least.
September the 1st, which is coming up soon.
Yes.
So you go to the Joy Theatre
Mm-hmm.
and laugh your ass off.
Yes.
At whom?
At home.
At whom? There's a question.
At
A question
home.
mark.
Not at home.
Not
Go
at
to
home.
the Joy.
Don't
Not at the
stay
Joy.
home.
Who?
What?
Who's on first? The Joy Theatre is a big theatre.
They're
Yes.
on first.
How many people do?
The
does it
first.
fit?
700 people.
So we need
Oh, is
700
that
people.
all? That was larger.
Me too.
It depends on the setup.
No. Let me rephrase that. Seated, it holds
Yeah.
700.
If you did standing room only.
standing
if you
room
just
only, it's up
stack
around
more,
It
1300.
could probably be even.
If
more.
you have
Okay.
people sit on each other's
So,
shoulders, you
when
have
they do
more.
live music at the Joy, they take all the floor is just standing room only, and
Right.
then the balcony's seated. But when we do a comedy show, we bring in theater seats. So
That's 700.
Classy.
700.
Okay. So we're looking for 700 people to show up at the Joy Theatre
Yes.
to see
Mark
I'll try that again.
Normand
Mark Normand
Mhm.
with a D
with a D.
and Mark with a C or K.
Mark with a K.
Okay.
Mhm.
And who is that?
Mark Normand's a local guy who left here about 13, 14 years ago, went to New York, and then has consistently just gotten bigger and better every year. And
If
now
Chris
he's-
doesn't know who he is, we're in trouble.
well, I've,
Who is he?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's not a
I
good
think I
sign
have
for
the name,
filling the
actually.
theater.
I don't watch a lot of stand-up.
so I'll
You
tell you,
know a lot about
I'll
comedy.
give you his stats. So he's
Okay.
he's been on tour with Amy Schumer for the last several years. He just opened for her at Madison Square Garden.
Jesus, that is
He's
pretty
been
big.
on Conan 4 times, which I think is a record.
Fancy.
He's been on Late
He's
Late with
been
Stephen
on
Colbert.
Conan more times than anybody in America.
I think
Been
he's been on there
Conan more
4
times than Conan.
Right, it's 4 times.
Okay, that's impressive.
He's been on Inside Amy Schumer. He's been on Louis C.K.'s new web series called Horace and Pete. You know, he's just
So this guy's a big deal in comedy.
big deal. in
So he
comedy.
must be funny.
Very funny.
Although I don't find that Amy Schumer funny at all. Do you?
Hit or miss for me.
Yeah. What do you think,
Yeah,
Bella?
hit
You-
or miss for me too.
I think
For
she's
sure.
very
Chris,
funny. I don't know.
you
what
love
have
her.
to- Yeah, I think she's really funny.
Yeah.
I don't. Get
I don't know
it.
if like every sketch nails it, but I think her show
Overall?
is great.
I like
Okay.
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen
She's
Wiig's
That's
funny
a good
too.
choice. She's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
Does
seek,
she do
I'll seek
stand-up?
her out purpose.
She doesn't
like,
do stand up, no.
No, but she's funny.
She is funny.
So this
Okay, so
I
Mark
got,
Norman, so
yeah.
you promoting this? This is your.
No, well, so I got so the Joy gave me 8 shows in 2016.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I was really
How many did they
excited.
give you, Chris?
How many?
Yeah.
Too many to count.
Okay.
a lot.
Boyfriend, how many shows did the Joy give you?
It's to be determined.
TBD. What about you, Bella? How many shows?
This year, I did a show in January.
Did they give you a number of
uh,
shows this year, though?
No,
No, right?
Burlesque in the Joy Theater. Well, it has potential to do really well. It's
I met Bella while they were rehearsing, and I had
Yeah.
a production meeting one day, and I was
Okay.
like, I need some dancers for a bit.
Yeah.
Can you give me some dancers for a bit?
Okay.
And she did.
Do they all have painted eyebrows or just you?
no, not all of them.
Do you have people like copying you now because you're like number one?
I'm in number 8.
Yeah, but I mean here in town, you're the biggest. You're the biggest deal in burlesque in New Orleans.
People copying it. No, I don't think so.
You have like acolytes and followers and groupies and.
I don't think anybody's copying. You know, it's the burlesque industry as a whole is it's a very interesting playing field for sure.
Interesting. Okay. You
Yeah,
didn't-
it's for me personally. Like I've gotten to a point in my career where I try to really hard to like have the blinders on and just focus on the projects that I'm working on and the things that I really want to do. It's really easy to be distracted by what other people are doing.
Is there
you
politics in
know?
burlesque?
For sure.
Isn't that just depressing? Sorry to
There's
keep you up,
poli-
boyfriend, and we'll be finished. Boyfriend's yawning. Got the robe and the curlers, and now you're yawning. That's not good.
Yeah, there's politics for sure. I mean, just like any other industry, you
Really?
know. Oh yeah. I mean,
What are they-
I know everybody wants to really, really believe that it's like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You're my sister, and I'm gonna put glitter on you, and it's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna get along, and
That does
everything's
sound good.
cool.
Yeah.
But and
Sound like that.
and a lot of people
Glitter. I'm gonna put glitter on you. That's
Yeah.
the first thing I
Right.
thought.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put glitter on you,
And
Matt.
we're gonna do everything together, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be great, you know. And a lot of people enter into the industry that way with a very, very much a sense of like, oh my goodness, I found my tribe, I found my community, I found, you know, and that can exist, yeah, for sure.
I would have thought it would be more competitive, actually.
But then there's the other side of
Right.
it, you know. I mean, just like with anything else, you have like hobbyist versus like this is what I do for a living. So
Yeah, I think that's a huge transition too. When you go
Yeah.
from doing it,
sure.
oh, this is fun, to I want to make a living at this. And that
Right.
Changes.
Do you make a living being funny?
Yeah. That's my job.
Where do you work?
Here locally, I mean, I work like Friday. I'm at a club in Metairie called the Revival. It's a big nightclub in Metairie. I'll be there Friday, and then September 1st, I'm at the Joy Theater, and then September 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th out of town, and then October I'll be back on the road. And
Well, I got 2 questions for you. Say out of town, someone books you out of town. You have like
Yeah.
a tour schedule. So you're doing clubs. You're like one of these guys on the circuit.
yeah, and
Do you
some
know all
of it,
these other guys that you see? I've seen so many of these Netflix like documentaries about
yeah,
comedians.
I have, you know, I've been able to perform with most of the biggest names in comedy. You know, I'm pretty
It's
lucky.
pretty impressive.
I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah. Do you write stuff like you sit around in your house writing?
I
coming
try
out?
to, yeah.
Do you
I
spend a
try
certain
to
amount
have
of
a
time each
ritual
day,
of
right?
doing it every day.
How many hours a day do you spend writing?
I write 3 pages. I
3
don't-
pages a day.
And however long that takes.
Hey, have you got your 3 pages from today?
Yeah.
Let's take a listen. What do you got? And then, Chris, I'm going to make
Well, what
you
if
do
it's-
your
what
3
if it's
pages.
not
Oh yeah, my
ready
3
yet.
pages. Well, I've been
It's
ready to
not.
go.
It's not in any
It's
way.
just sort of thoughts.
Yeah, these are thoughts.
Come on, if we can't help and come up with something funny.
Yesterday I started half a page that I started taking notes here, and then I moved into. I just wrote some Twitter jokes today. You want to hear the Twitter
Yeah.
jokes?
Yeah.
Even a compliment sounds racist with a southern accent.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
And this was a quote. You're a comedian, huh? You don't seem funny to me. That was a quote.
Okay, who said that?
This
Wait, who said
I made my mom say it in this writing practice, but somebody said I was working with someone and they didn't know I was a comedian. I was doing an event and they were like found out I was a comedian, like, oh, you're the comedian? I said, yeah, and they went very puzzled, said, huh, you don't seem funny to me. And I said, oh, okay. I don't know that there's a perception that you have to be funny all the time.
You have to
know?
look funny, or
Or I
you
don't
have
know.
to
I
say
don't know what people
something-
expect. Yeah, I don't. know.
Right.
I feel like I'm pretty funny.
Well, you must be if you're working and you're making a living at it.
Yeah.
That brings me back to the 8 shows a year.
Yeah.
What do you mean the Joy gave you 8 shows? Who at the Joy does that? Is it like
I
the
opened.
Booker?
I opened for Louis C.K. at the Joy Theater in
Right.
2014, and I did really well. And the management of the Joy saw me and said, "Hey, would you like to come back and do your own show? Would you like to come back and headline a show here?" And I said, absolutely. And the first one I did was sellout. It sold out.
Wow. When you
Yeah.
had, so you did it. You
Yeah.
sold out the Joy.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, here's 7 more.
They said, "Here's another one." They said that was in
Okay.
May. That was in May 2015. They said, "We'll do one in the fall or in the winter." And so I did one in December. Not a sellout, but pretty
You can't
good.
sell anything out in December
Pretty
except
great. Pretty great
or
attendance. It was the attendance was good enough for them to say, well, let's do this again. So after the first of the year, they offered me 8 shows at the Joy, and initially they said, we want you to do 8 shows at the Joy in 2016, and I walked away from the meeting feeling, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, 8 shows, and then I got sort of realistic and humble that I can't headline in the same venue in the same city 8 times in the same year and expect any kind of turnout. Do you need to take that?
No, it's just Mitch Foreman. Hey, Mitch, how's it going?
Yeah,
Mitch,
put
are
it
you
on
there?
Speakerphone.
Oh, I've got to put him on speaker. Is that better?
Hello.
Hey, this is Mitch Foreman, who wrote and plays the theme song on Happy Hour. Mitch, you're on Happy Hour.
Oh.
Hey, Mitch.
Oh my goodness, this happy hour. I'm on happy hour.
Yeah, you're on
you're
Happy
on
Hour.
now.
Mitch used to be on Happy
Oh,
Hour
my.
every week playing the piano, but then he got too busy. Now we just have a recording of him playing the piano. Mitch, just like the old days.
Oh my God, it's fantastic.
So, Mitch, well, I'm here with some pretty interesting people, one of whom is Matt Owens, who's a comedian. Mitch was playing piano for a while with Martin Short
Oh, wow.
on the Martin Short Show. So, Mitch, tell us one of Martin Short's jokes.
One of the jokes was he was talking about as he got older and he had to go to the bathroom and urinate more frequently. He said the only time he doesn't have to pee is when he's peeing.
Okay, that's a Martin Short
Compelling
joke.
stuff.
Pretty.
I like that.
That was the one you remember. Funny that's the one you remember, isn't it?
I know that
Exactly,
feeling.
I like that one.
What feeling is that, boyfriend? Having
to
to
pee
pee a
all the
lot?
time.
Yeah, I know. You want to?
Are we live on the air right now?
Yeah, we are. So listen, I'll call you back later.
Yeah, call me later. All right, have a happy hour.
Okay,
Bye,
thanks.
Mitch.
Bye. Okay. Well, that worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
Good
old
timing,
Mitch,
man.
yeah.
Nice.
So Martin Short must be a pretty funny guy to.
Yeah, I like
hang
one of
out.
my favorite things Martin Short ever did was just the word ginkgo biloba. When he says that word, makes me.
Oh, it's Jiminy Glick.
Yeah, Jimmy Glick is.
Love Jimmy
Ginkgo
biloba.
He is funny, Jiminy Glick. So you've been doing this for a long time, Matt?
Yeah, I've been doing it a long time.
Were you funny always
Yeah,
in school?
yeah.
Where did you grow up?
St. Simon's Island, Georgia.
That's right. Now we didn't even get
Georgia.
on to St. Simon's Island,
Is
Georgia.
it an island?
Yeah, it's an
Oh,
island.
cool.
Oh.
Where is it? I mean, off the
cool.
coast. Of
Yeah, it's an
something.
island off the East Coast, just north of Jacksonville, Florida, south of Savannah. If you took I-10 all the way to the beach and took a left, you'd run into it.
Oh.
If you take I-10 all the way to the beach, to
Uh-huh.
which beach? Pensacola.
Atlantic Ocean.
The Atlantic Ocean, all
Like
that way.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I thought you said it was in Georgia.
It is.
It is, but it's like that far over and up.
Yeah, it's 40 minutes
Nice.
north of Jacksonville, Florida.
And
Okay.
Jacksonville's like 9 hours away.
So it's quite a long way from here. So
Yeah.
you grew up on an island. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
It was pretty cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I would think.
It's weird growing up on an island,
It's very
especially a
Jimmy
resort
Buffett.
island like that.
No, sorry. I was
Yeah.
just saying it's a very Jimmy Buffett lifestyle.
Yeah, very Jimmy Buffett, Rupert Holmes hangout.
Are you in
You
Gullah territory there?
Hmm?
Are you in Gullah territory? Or is that just South Carolina?
That's South Carolina. It's
Like the
north,
Gullah
but yeah,
Gullah
yeah. But
people
there's an
and-
island north of St. Simon's called Sapelo. That's all Gullah inhabitants. It's really amazing.
Interesting.
But it's a wild place to grow up because the St. Simon's is only restaurant, bars, resorts, and people on vacation. So there's that influence. It's kind of like New Orleans. It's just everybody goes there to party.
What did
And
your family do there?
My family has a little hardware store there.
Even tourists need hammers.
I
True.
guess.
And nails.
They do?
Fishing tackle. We sell a
Oh,
lot of
fishing
fishing.
tackle.
Aha, there you go. And they've been there the whole time? And
They
still
have. It's
there?
been there forever.
So you
I
can-
think it's in 80 years now.
They have
Oh,
a
wow.
spare room. We can all go and stay at
Yeah,
the beach.
yeah, yeah. We're
Okay,
we got there before. We got there before it was too expensive to live there.
which it is now.
Yeah. And my grandmother
The
went
whole
to the
country
same
is
high
like
school. I did.
Where are we all going to live? I mean, everything's too expensive to live.
It's
Isn't it?
true.
We're all gonna have to move.
We're all priced out of everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you living, boyfriend? Do you have a place to live these days? Or
I
are
live
you,
everywhere.
you're just drifting around
Just on
still?
the road.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gypsy status.
Let's take a listen to another boyfriend song. What
Yes.
do you think?
Yes.
Sure.
Which one are we going to go for?
You seemed
Attention.
like
You
you
wanna
wanted
hear-
to hear Like My Hand Did.
You guys are going to love Like My Hand Did, but I'm happy for
It's
you
a
to
little-
hear
it's a bit
Attention.
long.
Oh, let's have a listen to Attention then, which
Okay.
is a classic
pulled up.
boyfriend
It's a
song.
classic.
Do you know this one?
No.
Oh my God, this is a great
And
song.
this is the
This
Boogie-
is the
this is
song
the
that
Boogie T
started it
remix?
all.
Is that you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again.
I only know one of the songs because one of my students performed at one of your shows.
This
and
could be
so,
it.
Who?
Amanda.
Boyfriend, who decides all the beats and bass lines? You?
Love me now, cause I'm in it with you, baby. I'ma always be around. If you wonder what to say, then let your heartbeat be the sound. Heartbeat of my baby saying, baby, you my solid ground. Touch me now, cause I'm in it with you, baby. I ain't running around. And I wanna make you, baby, wanna hear that sound. The heartbeat of my baby beating, baby, get around. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Try to fuck me, but not love me, you ain't gonna get an itchin'. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Try to fuck me, but not love me, you ain't gonna get an itchin'. Fuck me now. If you wanna fuck me later, then you fucking around. If you wonder if me, maybe come on, baby, make a sound now. Fuck me like you really mean it, fuck me to the ground. Sit by, be quiet. We sit together, but the stillness is surviving. We live together, but it's like I'm on an island. You miles away and I can't take you flicking in the silence. And I wonder if you like my nails did. And I wonder if you like my legs spread. And I wonder if you like me at all. If you wanna touch me, take me raw. Go ahead and read and go to sleep and creep in. Don't you think it just seem like you really need this? I got that pink, I got the link and now the ring fits. You got me thinking I'm weak, not so independent. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Trying to fuck me, but not love me, you ain't gonna get an inch in. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. Trying to fuck me, but not love me, you ain't gonna get an inch in. Look at me now. 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 Look at me now.
So good.
All right. That is a classic. I still laugh every time I hear that song, that chorus, even though I've heard it probably, I don't know how many times, 40,
This song.
30, yes. Look at me, I need some fucking attention. There's just something funny about that because that's kind of what it's all about, isn't it? Everything.
Everything.
Everything. It really is, isn't it? There's that song, Look at Me, I Need Some Fucking Attention, and then there's this guy who lives in New Orleans who puts this graffiti up on lamppost. Have you seen this? It says, think that you might be wrong. Have you
I
seen
haven't
that?
seen that.
Have you guys seen that?
I saw
No.
it.
I like
think
it.
I saw it once. I haven't seen it in a lot of places.
It's a very seldom. It's around, and he gets. I don't know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's some sort of guy who's writing on a white piece of board with black writing, and it just says that. Think that you might be wrong, and it's up on. It's up on lampposts and stuff.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys never seen those?
No.
That's why I always think those two sentences are the key to the whole world. Think that you
that's-
might be wrong.
I think that's true.
And
I
look
think
at me, I
I'm
need
very
some
lucky
fucking
'cause
attention.
I've had that knowledge for a long time because I've been wrong a lot.
But imagine if everybody actually believed that.
do you think
That they
do you
might
feel
be
that way?
wrong.
Do you feel like maybe not maybe I'm not right on this?
Oh, for sure. I don't know. I think it's important in whatever you're doing to stay super grounded so that you don't turn into an asshole.
Well, I guess when you're number 8, you can say that.
And like
How-
constantly like kind of going inside and being like, am I wrong on this? Or like or just acknowledging that like it's possible to be wrong, that you don't know everything, you
But
know?
most people are convinced they're right about whatever they believe.
Yes,
don't you
mostly Republicans.
think? Okay. Well, that's 50%
Right.
right there.
It's true.
But those two sentences, and look at me, I need to. What is that actually song? That song's actually called Attention. And that's the first song on the Boyfriend, Love Your Boyfriend Part 3. What's the new record going to be called?
To be determined.
It's going to be called that, or it still is to be determined?
You'll have to see when it's announced.
Okay.
To be
When are
determined.
we going to find it?
Well, tomorrow is just a one song.
And what's that called? Are we
Marie
allowed to know the name?
Antoinette.
That's cool. We already know that.
Yeah.
Marie
With
Antoinette.
Big Frieda.
With you and Big Frieda.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Can't wait to
That's
hear
so
that.
cool.
So by the time you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to it after midnight, or the beginning of what date is today? We've already been through this date.
Today's the
What is it?
6th.
You can let me.
17th.
I don't have
You
a
can let me hear it
17th.
before, right? I can hear it before.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Anyway, it's a pretty good chance it's going to be available, right? Because unless you're listening to the show immediately when we post it, which is after the show,
Right.
there's a fair chance that it's going to be available. So you can go find it at Spotify and at boyfriend69.com,
Oh,
or what's it called now?
Rapcabaret.com.
Oh, you've changed that. Rap Cabaret. I have to write that down now. So what happened to boyfriend69.com?
It still works if you use it.
Oh, okay.
Just routes you
It's my
to
adults.
the other one,
It's for
huh?
the adults.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going for a mass market now?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. So what happens to the words like fucking this and so on?
Oh, they're still there.
So that's okay. What's the difference between mass market and adult now?
I just like to have the option to give people a little exclusive website. Like if you go to boyfriend69.com, that's the adult website.
And what's it got on
People
it?
love to feel special.
How freezing cold are you in here in the
Oh, I'm
AC
not.
with your robe on? I think it's cold. Are you cold,
No,
Bella?
I'm not cold.
You were worried.
Which is
about-
very rare. I'm always cold.
I'm all right here because I'm not
You're not in the
not
AC.
in the AC, so I'm okay.
No, I'm comfortable.
So what happens in the winter with
I
your
have-
with your look?
It gets cold.
I have full floor length robes.
Floor. Oh, so you go for winter robes. You walk around in. Okay.
They're more of the furry variety than the silky.
So you're going to have to live in the South here forever.
I suppose so.
Although you could not walk around in New York City in a robe. I mean, you
No,
could,
that'd
but you
be
couldn't
very-
Yeah, you
freeze
could.
your
It
ass
would
off.
not be conducive to living in New York. I don't
No.
think.
No.
No.
Not that outfit. Do you have tattoos?
One.
One? And Bella's got some awesome
I
looking
do.
ones.
I have several tattoos.
There's a unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
Does that signify anything?
The unicorn. I love unicorns because they are like genderless, mythical animals.
Are they genderless?
To me, they are.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know if that was like part of the mythos.
No,
or
I don't
something.
know. I mean,
Well, that's
I have no idea.
That's why they're not breeding.
I have to
I guess so.
catch one
Yeah,
and
I don't
check.
see one.
right. And then
What else have you got? Oh, that's like
it's
a peacock feather.
and
Wow, that looks painful, that one.
this is a. I had a necklace I still have the necklace, but this was the pendant, and I was afraid to lose it, so I got it tattooed on me just so I'd never have to lose it.
It's not tattooed on your neck, it's tattooed on your arm.
No, on my arm because the heart is right here.
That must
This
be.
was
It says toujours.
Toujours. My friend that passed away, she had a Toujours tattoo post Katrina, and so we all got that. And then this is a quote from Where the Wild Things Are.
Is it really? What does it say?
It says, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so."
Oh, that's cool. Well, I might get a quote
Yeah.
from Pensacola. Willie or whatever.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Yeah, Pensacola Prophet.
Pensacola Prophet. What would be a quote I could get tattooed on my arm from Pensacola Prophet?
Shit. That's a good one.
Is that your best line in the movie? Did you write this thing as well? You co-wrote it?
Well, we loosely script it and then improvise. So we develop the character. We know who we're playing, and then we film as that character, and then
You
go
can
for
do
it.
that with video now or whatever we're shooting on digital, I guess, because
Yeah, most of my stuff is unless I cracked up, I tried to do it in one take. So I try to get.
there must be a lot of cracking up
I
involved.
try to get a
though,
oner.
isn't
My job is to make everybody on the cat and the make
the
the whole
crew.
crew laugh.
Laugh,
That's
right.
what I tried to do, was go as far as I could.
it? Impressive.
But
I'm
I don't
looking
have
forward
any,
to
I don't have
seeing
any
this.
tattoos. I need to get a tattoo.
Well, you could get that shit.
I have a
tattooed.
brand. That's a good. I have a brand.
You were branded like a cow, like
Yeah.
cattle?
Yeah.
Like C-bar 53 or something?
Yeah.
What does it say on your ass?
It's on my ass. Yeah.
So that's, I guess, when you go to the slaughterhouse,
Oh.
They'll know who.
they'll know
who
where
I
you came
belong to,
from.
Yeah.
Rustlers steal you.
Who to pay. Yeah.
Could
Hey,
I make a mention of
Yes,
something?
Bella, you have to do it now because we've got to get out of
I
here. So this
know.
is the perfect opportunity.
I have a show also.
Oh, come
I
on.
have like
You've
many
left it till
shows,
this-
but this Saturday in particular, on August 20th, we do a monthly show called 30 Dime Peep Show. But we're going to be doing a fundraiser through that show for flood
Oh
flood
my God,
victims
good
on
you.
Saturday.
Right.
And then on September 2nd.
Hang on, this is the same night as
Oh, it is.
boyfriend's birthday
It is.
party.
Well, what
Can
time
we
is
go
it?
to
New
both?
Orleans, though, it's lots of options. So they technically
to both.
go to boyfriend's show first
When's
for
your show?
a little while. It's on Saturday, the 20th,
But what time?
midnight.
Oh.
It's at midnight. Oh, we
yeah.
got tons of time.
So, but they could see
No, you
some of the show and then come to the
what,
like.
where, what
split the night.
location is your
It's at the Always Lounge on St. Claude Avenue.
St. Claude Avenue versus
Totally
Tips to
opposite side
Owens.
of town, which is great, which is like in New Orleans in general, it's just so cool because you kind of so many things going on in one night, but 20 minutes away from each other, you get two totally different audiences all
Yeah.
together. And then September 2nd, we're doing a Decadence show at Harris Casino.
Ooh.
Wow,
yeah,
that
and
sounds
it's
pretty interesting.
featuring Alison is in it. She's
Allison,
our
our
photographer.
photographer and
yeah,
producer.
she's
Allison. So we can all come
She's
and watch Allison.
performing. That's at 8
Wow,
p.m.
nice. Okay.
And I'm pulling in. I have Violet Chachki coming in, who is
Violet
a wonderful
Chachki.
drag artist out of Georgia, that show is free, which is awesome.
Can't beat that. So it's a boyfriend show on Saturday night. They're all the
Yes,
all the
it's
best
free.
shows are free. So that's coming up.
That's on September
good.
2nd.
But if you're unable to remember this and you're like driving or at the gym or something, we
Yeah,
can find all
but you
this.
can
There's a
go-
link to this
you-
on our website. It's
Okay.
neworleans.com, and your website is
Perfect. TheBellaLounge.com.
called thebellalounge.com.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
on Facebook too.
And on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. And Bella Blue is the way to find you. We can just find
Yep.
you on Facebook.
You just
I
Google.
guess. Okay. And you teach burlesque.
I do. I own the New Orleans School of Burlesque.
Right. The headmistress.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So Matt, you could do it was not for guys, I assume though.
No.
right?
Well, not for him.
What?
No.
You don't want to go and put glitter on each other and
No.
I'll let
be
him put glitter
sisters?
on me.
All right. And Chris Kehoe has joined us today as well.
I have. I've got nothing to plug.
Nothing to plug at all.
No.
So Matt show we can find Matt. Where can we find you at the to get to the Joy show?
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram. Matt
Okay.
Owens.
So you don't
all
have a
over.
website. You just have to look for your name, Matt Owens.
Matt Owens.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all
so we just
over.
search for you.
I got a
Chris,
show Friday and a show September 1st.
this Friday.
This
the
Friday.
whatever the date is, the something or
This
other
Friday
of August.
is the 19th.
20th, 19th of August.
Friday, August 19th.
And then the big show September 1st
September 1st
at the Joy
at
Theatre.
the Joy Theatre. Yes.
Okay. Boyfriend show is Saturday night, the 20th of
Correct.
August at 10 o'clock at Tipitina's, and it's free.
It is free, and we'll be doing a
Highly
pop-up shop as I do for all my birthday
Yes.
shows.
You can buy
where-
underwear with.
Yeah, you can buy all
boyfriend's
sorts of
face
things.
on
We're
it.
unveiling some new items as well,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and clothes that I used to wear. You can buy, and if you
clothes
show
that
up,
you've worn.
clothes I've worn,
Okay.
and if you show up in lingerie, you get a gift. And if you don't show up in lingerie, you can buy it at the pop-up shop because a generous portion of all the proceeds will also be going to the Louisiana flood victims because we're
Thank
all
you guys for
Same
doing
thing,
that.
We're all
same
doing
thing
that
for
now.
my show.
And your show too.
Show on
Okay.
Friday, August 19th is it's a hub for donating products if you want to bring products, and also we're collecting money to give to the victims.
Good thing, because that disaster is just much
It
worse.
is. I
than
think
you can
everything you
imagine.
do in New Orleans this week, something will be going
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
nice.
A lot
It's
crazier
been
than I
a-
thought.
Oh, it's insane how
Inspiring,
how
actually.
widespread this flood is, and how many
I know.
people have been displaced. It's horrible.
What about you, Grant? Did you go to school on the West Bank?
Mm-hmm. I did. I went to burlesque school. I'm number 22. Don't you recognize me with my clothes
I was
on?
laughing because
you
you were
don't
asking
recognize
him
my
where he's from,
eyebrows.
and then you guys were talking about accents and stuff, and I wanted to be like,
Oh, I'm
where
from
are you?
Boutique. I'm from Boutique.
Oh, yeah, that's
Just
right. I thought you were going to
just
say
past
like
the
Thibodeau.
airport. Thibodeau. No, well, I know the accent sounds similar, but
It does.
it's actually Boutique.
Totally.
Bella Blue, thanks for being here, boyfriend.
Thank you.
Matt Owens.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so
and
much.
Chris, thank you for being a great partner and
Thank you for
and
having me.
podcasting.
Good luck in
LA.
Yeah, we'll hopefully go
Happy
to see one of
trails.
your movies
Yeah.
one
Oh,
of these days.
someday.
I'm going to stalk you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. That's our show. Our producer is Graham DePonte, and Alison Moon helped out today as well. Christian Unruh is our music director. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, taking the place of the fabulous Chris Kehoe, who's off to become a screenwriter in Los Angeles. Our theme music was written by Mitch Foreman, who called in on the show today, who's also currently playing it right now. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about 60 minutes while drinking, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. We can also check out plenty of other hours of Happy Hour that we have recorded up there, as well as some other shows we make here. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace. True to the Game with the fabulous Chris True. Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans. Ray Canata, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker. Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu. The podcast about death called Death the Podcast with psychologist Dr. Ariane Alfant. Questions from the Waiting Room with psychiatrist Nick Pajic. What happened there? Did we get a call? And also Psych Ward is back. Check that out. Yes, Psych Ward. One of the craziest podcasts you'll ever find in the history of podcasting is on itsneworleans.com. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. Those photos are taken by burlesque dancer Alison Moon. If you're listening to this show on a podcast app, thank you so much for subscribing to us. We do appreciate it. Take a moment to rate and review us if you can. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. We can come for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and brunch on Saturday and Sunday. Andrew Duhon is away today. He's on the road. Actually, I think he's in Martha's Vineyard. Take a look at andrewduhon.com to find that. For everybody around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thank you for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Hay muchas maneras de enviar dinero a casa, y todas las empresas me prometen buenos tipos de cambio y transferencias seguras. Puede ser abrumador. Comencé a utilizar Remitly porque puedo seguir mi dinero en cada paso, lo que me permite saber exactamente cuándo mi mamá recibirá su dinero. Y con su extensa red de pagos, mi mamá puede recibir su dinero de una manera más conveniente y segura para ella. Ve a remitly.com o descarga su aplicación para comenzar. Remitly Inc. es un medio para transferir dinero autorizado por los estados de Nueva York, California, Massachusetts y otros estados.